how do you go about improving the EEAT or that kind of factors in the client website?
A refund. My reputation is the most important thing for my business, and I never hesitate to provide a refund, which I think has happened twice in the last 6 months.
What particular factors you try to put it these days in the website itself to improve that experience and expertise?
And people do get ripped off a lot. I talk to so many guys paying a lot of money and getting absolutely nothing
Can you
for
explain
it.
your process for the lead generation, especially for trades and the construction company?
On Instagram, you've provided value with the storytelling and all the testimonials that I show on my Insta.
Hello and welcome to the Agency Growth Lab. I'm your host Rohindu, and today we are thrilled to have a very special guest joining us, Mike Veail, also known as a lead guy and a renowned expert in digital marketing SEO, is here to share his insights and experiences with us. So welcome to the show, Michael. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Rohan. Thanks for having me on the podcast. Look forward to catching up and talking about SEO, digital marketing, and local SEO.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure, man. Pleasure to have you up here. I was checking your Instagram, your LinkedIn profile as well. Pretty excited stuff you're doing right now. So yeah, super cool. We're gonna jump in and we're gonna know more about it, how you're doing it, what kind of results you're getting in. So gonna be pleasure. So all right, so Mike, really quickly, I mean, like, can you actually get us know about your technical background? How did you get started with the lead gen industry and SEO specifically?
Yeah, of course. So I finished university. I kind of went traveling for a little bit. I went to Bali, and I was like, wow, like why can't I just stay here forever? Why do I have to go back home and get a job and all that? And returned to New Zealand after some traveling and got a job doing marketing, which is what I studied at university. So I thought that would be, what you should do as a next step. Then I quickly realized that digital marketing was going to allow me to get back to Bali and just be free and just have a life of freedom. Uh, so I was working after work, picking up some side hustle clients, and fast forward about 5 years later, I've been traveling full time for the last 2 years and been scaling the business. And yeah, it's been a blessing to have digital marketing allow me to live a life of freedom.
Yeah, no, that's pretty exciting. I guess that's how we all actually dream to get into this, where we can have a lot more pressure to actually go around, look around the world and see what's going on. A little different for me because I've got a small kids at home. So yeah, but I can just imagine like the life. I've been to Bali a few times as well myself, and it's just next level. You can literally meet a lot of digital nomads over there too, and a lot of idea sharings and a lot of meetups that do happen as well. Yeah, there is a conference. I don't really remember the name that just happens every year, and that happens in Bali as well. There's the SEO conference up there. Yeah, it's been a long
Yeah,
time.
there's I think Matt Diggity's got the Chiang Mai SEO conference, which is in Thailand, which is where I'm based currently. Uh, I'm based in Thailand, not in Chiang Mai, but yeah, Matt Diggity's got his SEO conference, and I think there's a Vietnam SEO conference that just was held recently. So yeah, it's amazing to be able to connect with people in this part of the world because there's a lot of people doing similar work.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. So tell me really quickly, like you said, like you are based in Chiang Mai right now. I've been to Chiang Mai. It's a beautiful place. I've been there twice to see for that conference itself, the Chiang Mai conference. So very excited stuff. It happens every year up there. And so yeah,
Yeah,
how do you actually manage the clients? Most of your clients are based in New Zealand, isn't it?
yeah. Most of my clients, probably 90%, are based in New Zealand, which is about a 5 hour time difference. Uh, but yeah, haven't had any issues whatsoever. A lot of people ask where I'm based, and I just say, hey, I'm based in Bangkok. Uh,
Yep.
and the way I do things is I usually give people a trial, I think it's $500 to $600 for a trial. So when I get to the sales call, they've already got results from me. So the fact that I'm based
Hey,
somewhere else doesn't matter whatsoever.
yeah, no, I was checking your profile. You mentioned like the leads guy, and that's really, let's get more into it. Like, can you explain your process for the lead generation, especially for trades and the construction companies?
When you say process, is that in terms of getting clients or delivering the results, or
Mm. So So when you say, I mean, like, how do you go and approach them? And that's what I'm saying. What is a unique kind of a thing you do it? Like, let's say there is a unique industry you think of, let's say in Australia or even in New Zealand. How do you actually go and approach them in that way so that to build out a trust so that they can try the service, they can actually say like if it's working for them, that you can just get to them and say like, hey, can you actually get on board and be a bigger package or that kind of thing? What is that unique approach? How do you actually go and connect those dots together?
So the way I do things, I feel like it's quite unique. I did join a network in Thailand, and a big part of that network is there are a lot of guys doing personal brand for, lifestyle, fitness, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, how can I kind of leverage this personal brand stuff for my audience, which is a lot different to them. Their audience is guys looking to get in shape or travel and
Yep.
drive nice cars or whatever. Mine's tradesmen back in New Zealand, building houses and stuff. So uh, the way I get my leads now is completely inbound, all from Instagram. So before I was doing cold calling, I'd probably close about 30% of my sales calls. And now that I've got leads coming to me, they're actually paying me to do a trial with me, and I'm closing at least 75% of the sales calls. So it's been really good. Instagram's been super valuable to me.
So how do you actually get your leads in front of these tradies then? I mean, like, because it's a complete different thing unless and until you are going and actually running the ads for trades and companies in New Zealand itself. How do you go about it?
Yeah, so the way that I get the results for the clients is Google Ads and SEO. So uh, about 2 years ago, I joined Nick Wood's course, Digital Landlords. So a big shout out to Nick Wood. If you're looking to get into rank and rent, he's enabled me to get a lot of success and get started. But the way I get results is just Google Ads and SEO. So if anyone's looking for, a concrete layer in Auckland or concrete layer Miami, just set up a basic Google ad at the top using some best practice. And then if the client goes ahead on the sales call to develop the relationship over time, then what we do is build out some SEO websites as well. And yeah, super straightforward.
Yeah, yeah, nah, because that correlates to the video which I was talking about before, like where you showed the kind of a results to the client, and then you told them, hey, do you want to actually get more leads and you want to go more into that? So let's say the process, let's take a hypothetical scenario right now that you created a reel or so, and then you are now you want to get in front of these traders and these ones running Google ads or Facebook ads or Instas and all that. But how do you actually close those kind of things on a sales call? Because the reason I'm asking you is because I've done a lot of rank and rent, I've done a lead generation myself as well, and the people they always come with a kind of a skepticism that, hey, is that really this guy is really good, or maybe I'm going to wasting my time because he is doing the fake promises kind of thing. So how do you actually make sure like you gonna bring in the leads to them, especially at the very start? Before to actually build out a trust so that they can go for a long-term contract.
Uh, we obviously with the trial, we do give them, about 5 leads. Lately, I've been making sure, and I've been keeping in touch with the client to say, hey, how did that lead go? How did that lead go? And if they close a job from the trial leads, I can be super confident that they're going to get closed on the sales call. But also Instagram, by the time they jump on a sales call, like they've seen you on Instagram, you've provided value with the storytelling and all the testimonials that I show on my Instagram. Uh, and I do say for people who are a bit skeptical, you do get guys that are kind of new to marketing. And in the construction industry, there's definitely some skepticism and people do get ripped off a lot. I talk to so many guys paying a lot of money and getting absolutely nothing for it. So for those people that are skeptical, I'll say, hey, if we get no leads or if we get one or two and they're crap, I'll give you a full refund. My reputation is the most important thing for my business, and I never hesitate to provide
Mm.
a refund, which I think has happened twice in the last 6 months.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty awesome. So yeah. And you said like anyone who really, and before we actually jump into the SEO side, so you said like anyone who really wants to know more about this particular strategies. What was that course, the one which you mentioned?
Uh, so I guess there's two sides. There's two main areas where I've pulled knowledge. The first one, in terms of how to sell, rank, and rent, is from Nick Wood's Digital Landlords. So I think if you want to nail the sales process to sell, rank, and rent, I don't think there's anyone better in the industry.
Yep,
Nick Wood's got an extensive sales background.
yep.
And then for the Instagram marketing, that's something I've learned in this network. It's called the New Elite, and if you can check out Jack Hopkins, it's not really related to marketing, but there's a lot of amazing information on personal branding that can be applied to any business. And I truly think Instagram is the new kind of website to a degree,
Oh,
because a person can natively go to your Instagram page without having to leave, Instagram to go to a website. They can go to your website, they can see your services, they can give you a quick DM. Instagram's a CRM tool, it's a marketing tool. Uh, I think it's very powerful. I used to be the SEO guy. I used to be the Google Ads guy. I used to say no Instagram, no social media. I can get leads with Google, but I've definitely changed my sentiment.
yeah, yeah. No, I'll definitely take the names from you and um, put those links in the video description as well for anyone who wants to check it out. So let's get into the SEO side. Now the lead has been closed out and you got a contract as well. Now it's a time to actually do it. How do you go about that, improving the EEAT or that kind of factors in the client website? Is that something you do it yourself? I'm probably thinking you might be having a team doing all these kind of things.
Yeah. So if we close a client, we've got a process after that. So the process starts with buying the exact match keyword domain, or as close as possible, like Concrete Driveways Auckland. We'll get the exact match keyword domain. We'll outsource the website build to a company called Web Moguls.
Yep,
They'll build an awesome WordPress site with a lot of copy, uh, local service pages off the back of the main keyword, about page, contact us page. They also do a base backlink and citation setup. And once that's deployed and live, then I'll take it in, and then I've got my team on a monthly basis to deploy blog posts to build the topical authority, and we'll also purchase some backlinks, citations from Matt Diggity's authority builders, and guest posts. And it's basically what we do is just look, how many leads is this guy getting? Okay, cool. He's getting a good amount of leads. Let's pull back the Google ad spend, uh,
get
and
more into.
eventually our sites are fully organic.
Yep. And how about those improving those EEAT kind of a factors? So one thing could be like trustworthiness. That could be like authority and trustworthiness comes from the backlinks and GBP reviews and all that kind of things. How about the experience, the expertise kind of a things? What particular factors you try to put it these days in the website itself to improve that experience and expertise?
I
Is
think in
there
terms of
some?
the EAT, it's just a matter of building the blogs over time. I
Yep.
mean, these niches are very easy like to rank in, right? They're not like Miami lawyer person,
Yeah.
attorney lawyer. Uh,
Yeah.
it's these are some of these are small cities in New Zealand with 500 to 250,000. We're still ranking number one in the main cities like Auckland for concrete.
Yep.
And it's just time. It's just time of building the blog posts and the backlink setup.
Yep.
Uh, all the sites are built in WordPress. They're not beautiful webflow sites, but people aren't going to be reading 2,000 words of copy. They're just going to go to the landing page. They're going to see the trust badges. Hey, we do concrete driveways. Here's the big form. Here's the big phone number.
Yeah.
They fill out the form. The client the client goes to site, calls them up, and books a site visit, and hopefully closes around 30% of the leads. So
Yeah. Yeah. So you reckon that your main lead generation is like either you go and build your own assets, get them ranked, and then you send out the leads to those guys, and then slowly and slowly you try to pitch them for an SEO for your own website as well. So that could be number one, or else via the Instagram, the leads are coming in, watching your videos or so, and then you're trying to close them over the call.
yeah, so my leads come from Instagram for my business. I'll set up a quick trial, send them some Google Ads leads.
Yep.
If they go ahead, I'll build an SEO site that I own, but they'll get all the leads from.
Yep.
Uh, and I think this is better because I've got a vested interest in getting the site ranked number one, right? A lot of agencies will work with the company and say, yep, we'll do SEO for your website.
Yep.
And the majority of them, there's not much incentive. So that results in pretty unhappy clients most of the time. Uh, some clients will say, hey, can you do SEO for our website as well? And I'll say, yeah, we can do that, but I do charge, a fair amount because it essentially is going to compete with my own site,
Yep.
and I haven't got a full systematized process for that for their
So,
stuff.
yeah, so how do you think the AI is changing the entire landscape, what you guys were doing before and now? Because I can see now these days the AI can actually go even ring the bells. I mean, like call the people using that kind of a clone voice, and then AI agents can actually take the data, even send automations can actually send all those different kind of like links, SMS, or all the different kind of nitty-gritty stuff which a person has to do it, the AI agents can do it. So specifically for the content marketing, we'll talk later, but for the closure and that kind of things, have you ever tried these kind of products as well? It's very hot these days.
Yeah, it's a great subject. And firstly, I think we're very lucky in the local SEO space that we haven't been disrupted. I've got a lot of friends in the affiliate marketing space that have had, revenue pullbacks of
Yeah.
almost 80%. So we're quite lucky, but I think in local SEO, it's just a matter of time. Uh, if you are a digital marketer or SEO, and I definitely recommend getting the Search Labs overview feature, which you can, if you just Google Search Labs overview, you can kind of switch it on as like a test. So when you're in Google, it's going to show you what they're going to roll out eventually. Uh, Ryan Stewart's got some good information on this, but
Yeah.
in terms of local SEO, I think it's going to be more prominent to have like the local results are going to be at the top, like the map section and the ads, and I think the SEO section is going to be quite far down. So I think for me, that means I need to get a bit more serious about my Google My Business, set up some of
Yeah.
my clients.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
in terms of other AI tools, I've got another lead gen guy based in Chiang Mai. He has AI callers, would call up the leads, and then if the client or the prospect says something like concrete driveway or site visit, then it's going to actually connect through to a real person.
All right.
Uh,
At the real time. In the real time, they transfer the call to the real person, you mean? Yeah, yeah. The closure rates is good. The scalability can be done in a more better way as well, I guess, that way. But I haven't tried it myself, but I think these are some of the tools which are worth giving it a try, I guess. So yeah. So yeah, no, and then it comes to the AI for the content optimization. So what kind of tools you are actually using these days for content optimization, for the blog post and even for branding types?
yes, we've got a really good blog system. So I've got an employee that does all my blogs, and I can confidently say 80% of them rank number one for these informative posts in New Zealand, which again is not the most competitive market, but we're using ChatGPT uh, for the whole blog process. I basically give him a keyword that we want to rank for, and he follows my system. And yeah, always informative, long blog posts, table of contents. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of authority on the blogs when we deploy,
Yep.
10 plus, but nothing fancy. Just I don't use Surfer SEO or anything. Just use ChatGPT.
Oh yeah. So so when you say, I mean, like last few questions which I really want to know about is like what are the key components you actually add to the for a compressive content brief that can actually help writers write SEO optimize content? What are those kind of things? Because I've seen like few people they try to fetch the
Yeah.
top results and then they take the outlines from that one, then they put it into the chat GPT and ask them, is there any kind of like a secret sauce you particularly use to actually get your content done in a more better way? Um,
Uh, no, I don't. I don't. What I do use is Matt Diggity's prompts in terms of asking ChatGPT before you start writing to say, hey, what are the guidelines for writing effective SEO copy?
yep.
Uh, that's going to give us an element of protection against any kind of penalties. But I
Yep.
think at this point, almost every business is using AI. So it's I haven't seen anything on my end that shows any penalties, and we've been using it
Okay.
quite a lot. Uh,
Yeah. Now, Mike, just a very final question. I really want to know more about the helpful content update. How are you actually making yourself um, in a way that because these algorithm updates are coming in very often these days. So the
yeah,
helpful content update, what is the kind of a piece of content you cover basically in your articles that which are good to survive these kind of updates?
yeah, good question. You kind of got me there to a degree. I think if I think having things like your about page, your contact page, just making sure that your website looks professional and legitimate can go a long way. Like I said before, I think most companies are using ChatGPT now, so writing AI content is one thing, but if it's obvious that your site doesn't have like a clear niche or it's just a big affiliate site, with advertising on it, uh, lots of different topics, I think you can be up for a bit more threat.
Yep,
I do have a large directory site that I do run leads off,
yep,
and this is where we've got hundreds of blog posts at this point. Uh, but all of the blog posts are written to provide helpful information. We do have authority on this large site. It's clear what the site is about, and we do go for the featured snippet for each keyword. So the content is written to answer that question for the user as fast as possible.
yep.
But I'll definitely have to have a quick uh, study check on the helpful content update, make sure I haven't missed anything.
Yeah,
So thank
yeah.
you.
And you're actually using the AI content for that directory, the mass page builder website as well, or is it a kind of a handwritten content, or does that every page has got a different kind of a content?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So let's say in New Zealand, I think there's about 20 main cities, right? We've basically got a landing page for concrete in city one, city two, city three, city four. I don't use an AI aggregation, but what I do is duplicate each page, and I only change about 4 to 5 blocks of copy,
Yep,
which is enough for Google to say, hey, this is a different page.
yep.
The heading is going to be different because the city is going to be different, but we only change about 4 to 5 paragraphs of the copy, which is something that Matt Diggity offered in one of his YouTube video uh, reports. That you don't actually need to change much copy on a landing page for it to be picked up as different, especially when it comes to local landing pages.
Hmm. That's pretty interesting. The reason I'm asking is because I work a lot in the mass page builder websites as well, but rather than WordPress, I do prefer to have more into the HTMLs and that PHPs. And we've got our own script as well, which pull the data from Google Sheets, which actually send the data to this React and the PHP sites, and they just create the sites on the fly. So
Yeah.
and, most of the time we actually use this AI content, the ChatGPT kind of a commands in the Google Sheet itself. It's a lot more easy to create a lot of copies on the fly, and it just works great. Works pretty good actually. But I was just thinking like some of the content pieces are very much similar still, no matter what you do, especially for the internal pages because it otherwise it gonna be so much content in it, so we need to create it. So we try to actually vary in the form of FAQs, vary in the form of other stuff, but yeah, there is still a lot which can be improved as well. So yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah.
good. So just thinking like is that you try to vary the content or you use the same of content kind of a content up to some way because yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, look at sites like Expedia and other aggregate sites. Those sites don't really have any copy that differentiates, but they're different enough because they're showing like a different city to book a hotel. So
yeah,
therefore, I think that's a pass for the helpful content because you're helping the user. So I don't think you'll be getting a penalty for using an aggregate site because you're providing content that
yeah,
helps the user. But
yeah. So before we close this one, just very final thing, if you can share it, like, can you share some kind of like a success story or case study for the construction companies you have worked with? Like how that do you help them to generate a lot of leads for them, or even the good results? Is there any kind of like a thing? Because I was checking your reels, so that's why I can relate few things together.
Yeah, I think my biggest success story in the construction space in New Zealand is ranking my client number one in the biggest city for one of the most competitive niches, which is Auckland, and the niche being general builder. Uh,
Yeah.
we got them number one, and a lot of that success was from my client who was getting a lot of Google reviews. I think he's got 106 now, which
Oh,
by
yeah.
New Zealand standards is
Yeah.
quite a lot. So that's always been a nice thing to have in the back pocket if I'm on a sales call.
Yeah, true, true. It's pretty good to actually flaunt the results in that way. I do it a lot myself as well. I get a lot of good amount of leads that way as well. If you check it out, my Facebook profile, recently I started off showing my GBP results, the difference we bring it in, and it just helps, I guess, somewhere or another. Yay.
Oh, for
So, all
sure.
right. So, yeah, if there is anyone who wants to know more about you, want to read your stuff or videos or anything, what is the best place for that is, Mike?
I'll just give me a follow on Instagram. You can type in the lead guy. That's my construction based lead generation agency, and then just drop me a DM there. I am doing a bit of few mentorships at the moment, which is fun. That's more for people starting out,
Yeah,
trying to make their first 5 grand, because I just want to help people that are where I was at the start, which was quite hopeless with this dream. So that's
yeah,
been something I've enjoyed doing recently. But yeah, thanks for having me on the podcast,
yeah.
Rohan.
Nah, I appreciate, man. I appreciate that. That was really good. And a lot of things we discussed was really good, actually, that especially the lead gen side. I know there is a
Yeah,
lot of potential into the market. The people, they just don't know sometimes to how to get started with it. And yeah, they don't have a right process maybe in place, or they don't know like how to connect all those dots together to get a success out of it. So yeah, no, definitely gonna be fun.
sure.
Thank you.
I
Thank
guess,
you for
yeah.
that. I really appreciate that.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks one
Good
more
catch
time.
up.